The next part of the Transformers Fan First Friday has commenced, and we got our first early look through other means of the Studio Series stuff. We finally got a better look at that alt mode of Dino, and well, like I said, it looks like they went the safe route. Instead of going for the Ferrari look, they went with a similar kind of design that they went with that Speedstar RPM that I discussed in the previous segment, where it's like it's a Ferrari, but it's not a Ferrari, and it could, look like even like a little bit of an 80s Lamborghini, if anything. So that is that, but it's still the best Dino toy we have at this point. It's probably as good as it's going to get without Ferrari's blessing. Now let's jump into the next segment and the next part and the next piece of news, and it is that of an update to the Transformers X Ghostbusters Ectotron that we got last year. Last year we got a Transformers crossovers with Ghostbusters. It was two franchises that were celebrating the 35th anniversaries together. Ectotron had a nice little G1 inspired box. It was a EB Games / GameStop exclusive. It was available on the Hasbro Pulse website for about a couple hours before it sold out. And that was that. It was a pretty hot ticket item. And even that same San Diego Comic-Con, they did a Ghostbusters-inspired Masterpiece Optimus Prime repaint. Everything was Ghostbusters. Now we're going into 2021, and in July, we're going to be having that new Ghostbusters movie, which is called Ghostbusters Afterlife. And it's a true sequel to the original two movies from the 80s. And they're going to be giving us a update of the Ectotron mold to kind of reflect what's going to be going on with the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. And thus we have here the Target exclusive Transformers X Ghostbusters Afterlife Ectotron. So what do we get this time around? So in the interview from the Transformers Hasbro Pulse Fan First Friday, John Warden was there. John, apparently, even though he's busy with Ghostbusters and Power Rangers, is still able to get his tentacles still back in the Transformers world, mostly because he had a little bit of a hand behind designing the original Ectotron back in 2019, so he was present for this little interview / panel. Now, Afterlife Ectotron, like I said, is based off of pretty much the design and look of how the Ecto-1 is going to look in the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. So essentially the little changes are paint weathering, so you're going to have the rust and weathering all over the vehicle. The normal white paint is now more of an eggshell kind of this time, to essentially eggshell white, kind of essentially like saying like, oh, it kind of yellowed a little bit, but not completely yellow, just a little bit. It has that worn out kind of look to it. The Ghostbusters logo on the side of the car, so it looks like the sticker is cracking and peeling a little bit, so it's also kind of worn out. The actual physical details themselves, so like the top of the vehicle has different kind of loadout of accessories and stuff like that of the Ghostbuster ghost capturing stuff. The ladder has been moved to the other side of the vehicle, so it also has a retooling there. Again, it's the same overall mold, but with a lot of retooling to reflect how the Ecto-1 now looks in this Afterlife movie. Obviously, whatever has happened between now and then, we don't know. The movie has not come out yet, and we don't know that information, but we will find out in the future. Some new stuff that was added to it. So you get the Slimer figure again, and the Slimer figure still has the little peg at the bottom, so he doubles as a blast effect. But what you also get this time around is the character of Masher, which actually also appears for the first time in the Afterlife movie. Masher is this like tardigrade, water bear kind of looking blue ghost. So he's a new accessory added to this. And then when you get to the robot mode, you get an updated paint scheme also that's very different than that of the original Ectotron. It has a brand new head sculpt, which now has an updated goggles, the goggles that are not found in the original movies but will be found in the new movie. So there's the new goggles, and the goggles are on the face now with a face shield battle mask, so it's a completely different head sculpt with a whole new different kind of look. The packaging itself they went with, instead of doing that old school Generation 1 kind of box packaging, they went with a blister card packaging, which is weird because that's kind of not what Hasbro's MO is right now. They're going for more boxes and stuff. But with this one, they went for a blister card back kind of packaging with bubble. Primarily, I think the reason why they did this is because the pack-in extra also is a exclusive variant cover of the first issue of the G.I. Joe, the Transformers Ghostbusters comic book series that's currently going on right now. So you get an exclusive variant cover that's only available with this version. But the back of the packaging still has that Generation 1 Mark Watt splash back of the packaging art there, with the tech spec, and it's a brand new tech spec that they've done for this one. Paranormal Investigator, Ecto-1 for the Afterlife. So it has all of that cool stuff going on too. Essentially what this is if you didn't pick up the original, this isn't exactly a complete trade-off. This one's a more weathered, different one, representing that of the new movie, where the original Ectotron was representing that of the old trilogy of the movie. So if you're getting this one, it's going to be a different kind of look. Same mold, more or less, obviously a little retooling here and there. A little bit of extras with this one that the other one didn't have. So it's kind of like you're kind of getting two different products. You're getting different things with each one, and each one kind of serves its purpose. Now, let's talk about how you're going to get this. They say that at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Target's website, this will go live, and it will be selling for $49.99. Now, if this is any reflection of the previous one, it's probably going to sell out within hours, if not minutes. So keep that in mind. It's probably going to be something that's going to be a crazy blink and it's gone kind of thing, but that's just kind of the name of the game with a lot of these exclusives, unfortunately. So maybe we could hope that, much like how the Ectotron was originally a Hasbro Pulse thing, then it ended up at GameStop and EB Games, and then slowly started showing up everywhere else in larger assortments. Let's hope that that's probably the case. A lot of Target exclusives sometimes end up as Canadian Toys R Us exclusives. Sometimes they show up in other kind of retailers. Let's hope that there will be other opportunities and venues for people to pick this up. But this is exciting stuff. Again, this is something that's aimed to be kind of a promotional product for the Afterlife movie, and just to give people, I guess, who didn't get their first chance at Ectotron a second chance to get it in kind of a different paint scheme, different flavor, and some extra little pieces here and there. And a comic book for comic book collectors. Very interesting. Again, 1 p.m. tonight. 1 p.m., not tonight, 1 p.m. afternoon, $49.99, Target.com. Check it out. It's going to go quick.